Life is at the bottom of things and belief at the top. We seek to stay present, even as the ghosts attempt to draw us away. Our Father manning the loom of eternal return, our Mother wandering towards paradise, releasing the thread. In my way of thinking, anything is possible. Life is at the bottom of things and belief at the top, while the creative impulse, dwelling in the center, informs all. Positions are taken, habits loved and hated, dreams launched and wounded, and just about everyone is part of the secret conspiracy of everyday life to get what you can out of it. Power is a thing of the senses. It lives as a capacity, or a yearning, or a festering resentment. It can be centralized in night rages. It can begin as a secret kept, or as a gesture glimpsed in a hallway. It can be leaked or harvested for future reference. It can spread like wildflower seeds randomly tossed on a suburban lawn. You do things with power and to it. There are palpable pleasures and acid stomachs in questioning it, spying on it, digging it up, calling it out, evading it, integrating oneself to it, sacrificing oneself on its altar, putting something over on it, or somehow coming to rest outside its whirlpool, even for a minute. Some things are not lost but sacrificed. Do our possessions mourn us? Will my coat, riddled with holes, remember the rich hours of our companionship? Human experience bound in its threads. Then it occurred to me. Perhaps I absorbed my coat. I suppose I should be grateful, considering its power, that my coat did not absorb me. The ordinary can turn on you, lodged in habits, conceits, and the loving and deadly contacts of everyday sociality. It can catch you up in something bad, or good, or it can start out as one thing and then flip into something else altogether. One thing leads to another. An expectation is dashed or fulfilled. An ordinary floating state of things goes sour or takes off into something amazing and good. Either way, things turn out to be not what you thought they were. I took my tarot deck out of its worn pouch and drew a card, a little habit before traveling. It was the card of destiny. I sat and sleepily stared at the great revolving wheel. Okay, I thought, that will do. Ordinary life, too, draws its charge from rhythms of flow and arrest. The moments of humiliation or shock that suddenly lurch into view without warning. The old love letters stuffed in a box in the closet. The living room strewn with ribbons and wine glasses after a party. The odd moments of spacing out when a strange malice comes over you. The fragments of experience that pull at ordinary awareness but rarely come into full frame. A still life is a static state filled with vibrancy, motion, or resonance. A quivering in the stability of a category or a trajectory. It gives the ordinary the charge of an unfolding. It is the intensity born of a momentary suspension of narrative, or a glitch in the projects we call things, like the self, agency, home, or life. A simple stopping. When a still life pops up out of the ordinary, it can come as a shock or as some kind of wake-up call, or it can be a scene of sheer pleasure, an unnamed condensation of thought and feeling, or an alibi for all of the violence, inequality, and social insanity folded into the open disguise of ordinary things. Or it can be a flight from a numbing routine and all the self-destructive strategies of carrying on. It can turn the self into a dreaming scene, if only for a minute. The dark stone in my heart pulsed quietly, igniting like a coal in a hearth. Who is in my heart? I wondered. There are all the lived, yet unassimilated impacts of things, all the fragments of experiences left hanging. Everything left unframed by the stories of what makes a life pulse at the edge of things. All the excess and extra effects unwittingly propagated by plans and projects and routines and all kinds of surge, experiment, and meander. They pull things in their wake. They incite truth, claims, confusions, acceptance, endurance, tall tales, circuits of deadness and desire, dull or risky moves, and the most ordinary forms of watchfulness. The objects of mass desire enact the dream of sheer circulation itself. Travel, instant communication, movies, catalogs, the lure of new lifestyles patched together from commodities gathered into scenes of a possible life. The experience of being in the mainstream is a concrete sensory experience of literally being in tune with something that's happening, but nothing too heavy or sustained. It's being in tune without getting involved, a light contact zone that rests on a thin layer of shared public experience. A fantasy that life can be somehow seamless, and that we're in the know, in the loop, not duped, that nothing will happen to us, and nothing we do will have real consequences, nothing that can't be fixed anyway. It's laid out like a 12-step program in which spiritual transformation flows directly through the flesh. First, you ask yourself hard questions and write down the answers. You create 12 weekly goals and voice them with mimicked confidence every morning and night until the confidence is real. You create 5 daily habits. You commit, you focus, you surrender the negative emotions that hold everyone back. You start looking forward. Everyone who takes up the 12-week challenge is a winner. You imagine other people gazing approvingly at your new body until that image becomes you. You realize you will never again get sidetracked. There were a lot of people in a hurry on the street. I hadn't noticed at first, and it seemed they were steadily multiplying. I felt conscious of everything. A beating heart, the scent of a song wafting in the conflict of breezes, and the human current heading home. Ordinary affect is a surging, a rubbing, a connection of some kind that has an impact. It's a transpersonal or pre-personal, not about one's personal feelings becoming another's, but about bodies literally affecting one another and generating intensities, human bodies, discursive bodies, bodies of thought, bodies of water. The ordinary is a circuit that's always tuned into some little thing somewhere, a mode of attending to the possible and the threatening. It amasses the resonance in things. It flows through cliches of the self, agency, home, a life. It pops up as a dream, or it shows up in the middle of a derailing, or in simple pause. It can pool up in the little worlds of identity and desire. It can draw danger, or it can dissipate, leaving you standing.